Welcome back to another episode with the boys. This is the fifth one we're going to do because the last one,
We started recording it and it didn't record.
Well,
yeah, live. Yeah, but I'm the Chailawala for this episode. So I hope all of you watching along already know how this format goes. So I'm going to bring the topic for today, and it's a good one, and it's sort of relevant to what we're seeing around us.
Before we get into the topic, hit that subscribe button. Get us
yeah.
to 50 subscribers or 75 or even 100, depending on where the subscriber count is. Do that for us. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, go down to our description, hit the link, follow us. Because if you don't follow us, then you don't know what we're doing, and then why watch us in the first place?
real.
So if you're watching us, subscribe to us, follow us, and all of that. Go on then.
So the topic for today is: Are Gen Zs drinking less alcohol? Okay,
Less alcohol.
less alcohol.
Whoa.
And that's the topic we're going to talk about today.
He knew the topic, by the way.
You know, I didn't read the less part because I saw Gen Zs and I was like, हाँ ज़्यादा ही पीते होंगे. Like,
Yeah. But before that, let's talk about our experiences with alcohol.
crazy.
I know you guys don't drink, but
Are you spoiler?
but tell me your relationship with alcohol. Maybe with while growing up. When's the first time you noticed it or heard about it?
I have a story with an OG Samruddhi boy. Do you guys remember Amoga?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Shout
he
out
was-
Amoga.
He was really small.
Yeah. The first and the only time I've drank alcohol is when I was, I think, 13 or maybe
Okay.
12 or when I was 14. I don't even know.
Huh.
Was Amoga there when we were 14? Maybe not. Maybe even
Been
younger.
like what, 9 or
There was some event in the
yeah.
there was some event in the clubhouse and some I don't know if it was some uncle or some auntie. He asked. I think it was an uncle. I don't think an auntie would do this. But anyway, it's a joke. But so he asked if. Do you guys want to try some medicine? And dude, Amoga and I, we were having the time of our life. We were having some mixtures. They had chips. Both of us just
Chakra.
sat. Yeah, first of all, I was a balloon. And so eating wasn't any difficult for me. So I just ate and ate and ate. And this uncle asked, do you want some medicine? And both of us said, why not? And we tried it and we hated it. We spat it out. And then we went home and my mom told me that it's alcohol. Now when I look back on it, it's a bit problematic.
Very problematic.
But-
Like, who is this uncle? Do you know him?
No, I have no idea.
Damn.
This must be the Bengali
that's
uncle
the-
walking around, bro. For sure.
Damn. Regionalism has started.
Religionalism.
Not even. This is regionalism.
Huh.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's the only time I've tried alcohol.
What about college? 'Cause
If
I'm
I tried alcohol?
Yeah.
No, I mean, so we went to, let's just say a college that drinks a lot.
Hey, I mean, at this point.
Oh yeah,
we
Manipal.
will-
I've talked
yeah,
about
we've
Manipal
spoken
quite a
about
bit. We have so
Manipal.
many Manipal stories there. So
Yeah.
Manipal. And then even London. All those people
Oh, yeah.
drinking around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always had lemon juice. So, but yeah, I have friends who drink. I've had people who drink around me. I've never drank. No.
Okay.
I mean, it's the same thing with you.
Same thing with me, but no one in my immediate family drinks.
Oh, same.
Like, yeah, I think that's the thing. But yeah, same thing for me growing up. No one like in close family drank. Growing up, my relationship with alcohol was non-existent.
Okay.
College is where I tried alcohol, but also not because I wanted to try
With your
it.
friends?
No,
Huh.
I didn't want to try
Alone?
it.
Yeah.
That's even more weird. Alone or like
No. So this was like I just gotten into the cricket team and like the seniors
Okay,
give
yeah.
like a dinner to the juniors where like so basically all the first years are on one side of the table and these guys get like old monk or whatever it is and they're like try it. And so initially they got 4 glasses for the 4 first years over there who didn't already drink. And then like none of us were having it. So they took away 3 glasses and they left 1 glass. And they're like, ye to pee lo. So that's where like I took a sip. But
I mean, I have a similar story with because of my friends, but I was stopped. I went to college. I got really bad, but this is a nice perspective. So, you guys mentioned you guys don't drink. Can you tell me why or how it happened? Where I'm assuming that the college you were in, there are people drinking around you everywhere, right? How come you guys didn't latch onto that, right? Where you're because it's very rare when you guys told me you don't drink. I was a bit shocked. So
interesting.
yeah.
Oh, okay, wait. So do you like have any recollection of this discussion or like this conversation of us talking about we don't drink and like did
yeah,
that?
but like I think a year or so back when you guys mentioned you don't drink,
Huh.
like I was very shocked because anyone coming from Manipal is like known
That's facts. Yeah.
to have good capacity, but you guys don't drink. So how did you maintain that is what I'm interested in.
Because we're saints. That's the truth. But No, like I think from what I've noticed of people around me, like whoever drinks, there is generally something that drives them to drink or want to drink. Like I think in the case of when we were first starting out in college, we were in a hostel. Manipal's a hostel setting,
Yeah.
and that freedom is what drives a lot of people to have their first drink, because like there are no repercussions of it, there are no parents around, so you essentially can do whatever you want. And from there, like you have it the first time, you realize that okay, maybe it's good or it's not good, like depending on your experience. But depending on the kind of experience you have, you start to realize that hey, maybe I like alcohol, or like it's supplementing.
And it's also a social thing.
It's a social thing. Yeah, I feel like that's also the case more in corporates, because I know so many people who've gone through college not drinking.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
the
true.
moment
Yeah.
they enter the workforce,
wow,
they're
okay.
drinking.
Yeah. Or like smoke,
So-
because there's always a smoke break.
is more. Yeah. Yeah, like so for me, I think the case was I'd never had an inclination to try it.
Okay.
There was no incentive for me.
You know, I remember I was in a bit of a crisis, and this was a long time ago when I think on New Year's or something, I think a friend told me that, you know, Pratip drank with his family, and I had a bit of a crisis. Because I'm like, now if Pratip drinks, I'll be the only one. But yeah, I remember that. For me, it's the same thing. I think for me it's two things. One, I know I have an addictive nature. Like I get addicted to things, routines, substances, drugs, just things like easily.
Jelly.
Yeah.
Just jelly.
Yeah, we'll yeah, sure. And it's that, and yeah, alcohol never appealed to me. Like the idea of not being in control scares me. And so when I see people do things while they are drunk, so I'm like, stay away. It's because I'm not gaining anything by drinking, nor am I losing anything. So just might as well not drink.
But I want to expand on this a little bit more, because you said it's about maybe freedom, things like that. Do you think was it related to your upbringing? Then you realize, okay, that this is something which is not interesting to me, or because at least the struggle with I had was social settings, right, where all my friends are drinking, they're having fun. How does that factor into your decision making? I want to know.
While growing up, I mean, there were a lot of movies where men drank and they would like beat women up, and I always had that in mind, and I always had that's where the idea of not being in control comes from, because in a lot of these movies the men wouldn't have control, they would beat the wife up, and next day there's a whole drama going on in the movie, but yeah, then the men would be apologetic, and I'm like, dude, like I can't do that. And when my friends drink, I couldn't care less. Like the idea of peer pressure doesn't get to me. I don't have FOMO and all of that. So if all of my friends are going on a trip just to drink and they say you can't come if you don't drink, well, so be it. Yeah, peer pressure. I also think it's a cricket thing. Like for the longest time, at least for me, I wanted to be a sportsman. So I knew I couldn't drink, I couldn't do certain things. But even the peer pressure aspect of things of FOMO, while growing up, I hardly went to birthday parties. I hardly went to like sleepovers. I hardly went to this, because you always had the match the next day. You always had practice the next day. So I couldn't be FOMO. I couldn't.
More of a lifestyle thing for you guys then.
Lifestyle / discipline, maybe that from an early age. Like when I think back, obviously, like my parents did tell me alcohol is not good, but never explicitly.
Okay.
Like it was always in some context, or maybe if I'd read the newspaper, for example, and like you'd say that this drunk man has done something, whatever.
Okay.
So from there, in some sense, I guess, but completing that train of thought, it was never explicitly told to me. So very interestingly, when I got into Manipal, that was my first question to my parents. That this college has XYZ reputation. Why are you still okay with me going to this college? And they were just
I
like,
didn't know you had this conversation.
yeah. And they were just like, we know you won't. And I was like, bhai, ab to pressure hai mere pe nahi peene ke liye. So it's just, I feel like if my grandparents parented me,
Okay.
then I might have turned out to be someone who might have had alcohol, because they're like at that generation, I think it's like if they know anybody who even drinks alcohol, like if they find out that person drinks alcohol, they'll cut association with the person, whereas you can't really do that in today's world. So yeah,
That brings me to my next ingredient. But before that, I want to talk about what you said. Not in control, right? We see this with friends or with people where you drink and then the assumption is that I was not in my senses, right? I'm assuming you guys weren't drunk the first time, but what is your take on that, right? Because my take is, whenever I've gotten drunk, I still know maybe I'm more free or open. I have this sense of freedom, but at the back of my head, I do realize what's going on. But I'd just love to know what you guys think on that.
I mean, I have no idea because I don't know what that's like. Interestingly, I had a conversation a few days ago about this. The conversation was, I gave a situation. To be fair, it's also happened in my life where I had this one friend, and then this one friend was in a relationship, and then this other friend with this other friend, when they were drunk. Oh, I can't say all of this. Well, let's just say
A friend of a
something-
friend.
Yeah, let's just say that something may have happened, which is the truth, because they don't know if anything happened when they woke up.
Oh.
Damn, if that friend watches this, they exactly know what this is about.
But do you think that's a lie?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like,
That
I,
not-
so
the not
I had
being
this
insensitive.
conversation few days ago, and so they said that it would normally be a lie because you would normally remember what it's like. Even if you don't remember it instantly, you would think about it, you could recall it, and you would have some memory from it. Like I can't say if that's, I don't know, because I've never experienced it.
Yeah, like even I've heard of this stuff, or like I've seen it around like friend groups or whatever it is, especially in college, right? Because a lot of negative connotations are also there with it, and people get away with the negative connotations by citing the fact that I have no recollection of it. Yeah, basically.
And honestly, I don't even know how I feel about that, because in one way, in my head, if you're having the time of your life and if you're drinking so much that you don't remember it, dude, good on you. But if you're the kind of guy who gets drunk out of your mind and then does stuff and then use
Takes
that
it
as an excuse.
I feel like does that, I don't know like the science behind this or whatever, but does that inherently show the emotions that you actually feel?
Yeah,
and they
a lot
brim
of
up,
people say that.
right?
And
Because
I don't know. Yeah.
then and like the even more messed up part is like, if you know that you are someone like that who after getting drunk is going to be like that, why do you still continue doing that?
I think with my experience, it's more about freedom. If it's I have this thing I used to have this thing. So if I have to go dance, I can't do it without alcohol. Maybe it's the fear of being judged that in my normal state I'm like this, or the alcohol sort of gives you more freedom. Everyone's having a good time. No one's gonna remember. Might as well drink, But yeah, this comes to the next ingredient, which we spoke about, was how does this factor into the relationships you choose? Is alcohol an important factor? For example, I do have close friends who I used to drink with, but since I don't drink anymore as well, or I drink at extended periods, I don't like drinking, I've had to sort of take time or step away, because that's the only way you catch up in Bangalore, right? Like, what are you doing, bro? Let's go to Bob's, have a drink, right? That's the general way of catching up. But
I go to Bob's for their food.
Shout out,
probably
boss.
the only person who does that.
Bob's, if you want us to be sponsor or like let us
I don't think they
host one
need
of these
sponsors.
episodes there. Anyway,
But yeah, does alcohol factor into choosing relationships for you guys?
It's two different things. Like a friendship is different from a relationship. A relationship is someone who's going to be a partner, who's going to be there with you for a while, I would hope, etc. Whereas with friendships,
you would.
you would. It's a little more chill, right? So because I have a lot of friends who drink and I don't have any problem.
Are they understanding though, or are they chill about it? Do they force you to drink?
Yeah. I think if they
एक
were,
पी ले यार प्रातिभ एक
yeah,
पी
if
ले
they were forcing me to drink, then they wouldn't be my friend. I've in fact also cut off people like that from my life, whose only idea of hanging out was to go and get a drink. I don't talk to them anymore, because like, can you have no conversation without going to a club or like also because I don't like clubs and like I don't like the whatever it is. I'm pretty
Sure.
old like that, buddha hu. But no, it shouldn't factor into friendships as long as they respect your boundaries.
Relationships?
Yeah, relationships also, I would be a little more because like there are things that I don't do or don't want. So like it would be easier for me to have a partner who doesn't drink.
What if she doesn't drink and smoke but likes clubbing a lot?
I don't like clubbing, bhai.
No, but like would that be a problem for you to be in a relationship with them? Or like what if they just drink, but they drink in company, like they don't like clubbing at all, but they enjoy a few drinks?
Occasional drinking's fine, but like how occasional?
So what if they only drink at home? Like what if they drink at you guys are living together and they only drink at home, but when they drink, they might
I think it's not even that. Like I think if they know, like if they are in control of their drinking and if they're drinking around people who they can trust, then it's fine. Like it's not my place to tell them to not drink or whatever. But if you ask me like preference wise, I would go for someone who doesn't drink, because like that's easier for me to navigate.
for me, friendships or relationships, I think I come back to the FOMO thing because, like, I've for the longest time not been able to like go to sleepovers, go to birthday parties because of cricket. I have a lot of friends who drink, and they always hang out when they drink, and sometimes I show up, and I have a Red Bull. I mean, to bluntly answer your question, I couldn't care less. Like, even if it's a romantic relationship, and if they drink, as long as I don't have to. Or like Pratap said, like if I have friends who force me to drink, to be fair, I've been very lucky in that sense. A lot of my friends drink, and none of them force me to drink. Like they don't
That's
even
quite
bring it up.
different though. From
Yeah, and it's which is true because I've talked about this before, and it's surprising to them as well. None of my friends. So every time I'm in a group setting, so I used to go to a lot of house parties. Everyone drinks, and not one would even ask because they know I don't. And I think that's just respectable. And they pass me a Red Bull.
That's my college friends too. Yeah, like they're pretty chill about.
But I think with close friends, it gets better over time. They sort of understand. Yeah, I think I have the same for me, where they sort of don't push me anymore, which is a good thing, right? But since you guys don't drink, right? So say somebody who's wanting to quit, right, but is stuck in these circles, what do you do to sort of then spend time with your friends? Like, what are the activities you do, or what are the things you could do which can help people, right? Before we,
Like for my friends who drink and I want to, and
I
they
want
want
to quit.
or what do you guys do in general? Because whenever my old school friends
Dosti
meet,
nahi hai. Huh.
like the first thing comes is like we'll go to a bar, right? And honestly, like some people are tired, like we don't want to drink anymore. Yeah,
I think you have to be okay with the fact that you will have people like you can't have everyone who doesn't drink. So you will have people who drink, and if you want to quit, easier said than done. Because I know, like, especially if you're an addict, it's a whole other ball game. But if you're just someone who likes the occasional drinking, but if you want to quit, you have to be okay with the fact that you'll always have people drinking. It's on you. It's like it's your responsibility to make sure you don't choose that. Like it's a choice. But again, easier said than done. Like it's very, very difficult, and I get that. It's a lot to do with what you want to do, and then peer pressure, and it's a lot to do with you wanting to be accepted by the people around you. Because if you suddenly stop drinking, it's like, you know how when you start dieting and then you stop saying no to like ice cream, but you go to have ice cream every weekend, and they'll be like, "Ek scoop kha le,
एक spoon to खा ले.
yeah, ek spoon," and then that becomes a scoop.
It's
and
a
then
slippery slope, no? Like especially when you're someone who regularly consumes and is in that habit. Then you're like one drink, two drink, three drink.
But
Raat
it's-
gayi, baat gayi.
it's difficult. But then, if you're talking about an addict, then it's a whole other ball game. But if it's just
Like I would recommend them to get professional help because like there's only so much you can do, and that's true for like any kind of addiction or any kind of context.
But are you talking about an addiction? Are you just talking about a social drinker?
Yeah, somebody who drinks maybe every other weekend who wants to stop.
You've stopped drinking. How did you do it?
I think very similar to you. I think it's a lifestyle change where I had to get up around Saturday mornings or go swim, and then I think because of that, I knew how alcohol affected my sleep and stuff. So I didn't want to compromise on my training. So I think
It's also a guilt factor, no? Like when you drink and you feel shit about your body. Yeah.
But okay, so like just on that, so I'm assuming like when you'd go out to drink earlier, like it would be to have fun and have a good time. So does that also factor in? Because okay, like one part is you put yourself in a situation where drinking becomes like guilty in some sense. But now how do you compensate for the fun that you or like the social stuff that you used to have earlier?
no, I think for me it's been it's been tough with social situations where I feel like without alcohol I won't be able to cope or meet people. But I think over time I've gotten confidence doing it without alcohol. So that's the way I've adapted myself. But does Gen Z today drink more or less compared to the previous?
They 100% drink less. 100, no doubt.
And why do you think so?
For starters, I don't even think it's about how it's going to affect my health, but I think it's more about the cost and like the cost of alcohol going up. And then you'll talk about like
That's only the case in a place like Bangalore. Right?
so there'll be other factors also. There'll be factors like health, because a lot of people our age are getting into fitness. And so it's like a domino effect. You start this, you want to stop that, you want to stop that, you want to better your lifestyle. I was completely wrong in your other prediction video with the men and women thing. So I'm not going to sit in the fence this time because I sat on the fence the last time. I'm going to 100% drink less.
I think they're drinking less because they're doing other substances more.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's a good shirt.
Like I do feel like smoking, a lot of people smoke a lot of drugs are very accessible. Let's be honest. Nobody gives a shit about it. Nobody in the system does anything about it. So I think that's probably
DCPR.
so that's probably like that's how I'd think about it. Yeah, and it's also cheaper to buy a cigarette versus buying a drink of alcohol.
All right, so the camera that Rahul was sitting in front of that died because none of the episodes actually go very smoothly. Go on.
Yeah, the interesting stat is that this trend actually started from the millennials.
Like the generation before us.
Generation
drinking
before us,
lesser.
of drinking lesser, right? So really interesting. I don't have a stat from India, but from few states in the UK to the US, around 60% of adults above the age of 29 would drink, right? And that's a huge stat. I think today it's around 40% because of the Gen Zs not drinking, right? Now, why are Gen Zs not drinking? Like you guys mentioned, health is a big factor, but another big factor is mental health, where people, like you said, the control or anxiety, right? I think people are a lot more aware about mental health today than they did before.
What about vapes?
I haven't done a study on that, but maybe we'll do one on that.
One another episode.
But yeah, I think that's the chai for the day.
But do you think this holds true for India as well? Because this is a study for
You can see it around you, right? You have, instead of pub crawls, you probably have like coffee raves and weird things like that. Yeah.
But the thing that I lied about, that I said that off camera. What? I lied about something. There was a study on Reddit about how alcohol companies, I think it was in the last year, lost about $1 billion. $1 million, I think.
definitely more than 1 million. But yeah.
So let's just say $1 billion because it was an absurd amount that people couldn't believe. And most of it was because of prices of alcohol around the world. Not India. I don't even think India was counted, but this was around the world.
Have they been to Bob's Bar?
How prices of alcohol have stocked up, which is one of the reasons why a lot of people our age have stopped drinking. And then there are other factors, like you said. But yeah, it's very interesting. Which is why I was so confident. It was fake confidence. Because
Let us know if you drink now.
yeah, let us know what you think of this topic below. Let us know if you haven't had your first drink, will you ever drink? If you do drink, how do you drink? Do you drink socially? Are you addicted to it? Do you drink alone when you're sad? Do you drink for happiness? Alright, so
Cheers.
let us know. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. So like, share and subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit that follow button on Instagram if you don't already. We put out clips of Instagram which are well edited by Rahul.
There'll be some good reels, so definitely.
Yeah. So let us know there. If you guys want us to try something different, which we will be open to, because it's the three of us, we'll be open to that. Let us know in the comments down below if you've made it this far. If you've made it this far, let us know if you've made it this far. Comment down this far. That's when we'll know.
Do it. That's
So,
the
yeah.
test for you today.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.